I'm Kate, the Daily Tarot Girl, and this is my Katie Merlina. And welcome to your weekly tarot card reading. So, for this week's reading, I'm going to be using one of my favorite decks. This is the This Might Hurt Tarot deck by Isabela Rotman. And I'm going to shuffle my deck. So my intention, as always, is to get kind of an overview of the week ahead and just seeing what kinds of themes, what kinds of energies might be coming our way and how we can best prepare. Okay, so before I dive into the reading, I just want to let you know that I am offering a 4-week tarot course on intuitive tarot card reading. Classes begin on April the 15th, and this course is a lot of fun. And if you're interested, I'm going to put the sign up link below so you can get more information. But this is a 4-week course, and it's a combination of pre-recorded video lessons, worksheets, live events, Q&As. There's a Facebook group, and yeah, I'm super excited to be teaching it again. And if you want to join me, I'll put the link below. Okay, so let's begin with the first card. So this card is for the beginning of the week, so kind of Monday, Tuesday-ish. And the card that we have here is the 5 of Cups. Merlene is helping. Okay, so we've got the 5 of Cups for the beginning of the week. All right, so I'm gonna keep it up here so you can see it. So 5 of Cups is one of those tricky cards. It's kind of saying don't cry over spilt milk, but it's saying don't focus excessively on the things that are disappointing to you right now and the things that aren't working out. So don't let those things steamroll you. So at the beginning of the week, there might be things that don't go your way or something is kind of frustrating. And sometimes we let those things overshadow everything else. And actually, I just did this yesterday. There was something that was irking me, and I kind of let it kind of overtake my mind. And so 5 of Cups is saying, acknowledge if something's not working out or something was disappointing or there's something that you regret, acknowledge it, learn from it, but move on. Don't wallow in it. So that's the main message I'm getting with this card for the beginning of the week. Okay, let's have a look at card number 2. This is for the middle of the week. God, we've got the Tower. Okay, so the Tower is super intense. This is a very intense card. And we have the Tower for kind of Wednesday, Thursday-ish. All right. So the Tower is ultimately, it's a card of release. It's a card of, it makes me think of like scrapping something so that you can build something new. But it's also the card of surprises and unexpected events. And so what I'm getting with this card, sorry, I'm trying to get it kind of centered in the right spot. What I'm getting with this card is that midweek there might be some surprises, and there's a real shaking up of energies with the Tower. So there's a real real reorganization and a shaking up of energies. And in some ways, this might feel like a relief, like a sense of release when things get kind of shaken up. But it can also feel disruptive. So I'm going to turn over the third card because I feel like these cards need to be read together, not just one at a time. Okay, and we have the Emperor. So Emperor is all about standing your ground. This is a very solid, stable card, and I think it's really interesting being next to the Tower, because the Tower is kind of, things are getting shaken up, things are kind of like unstable. The Emperor is the card of stability. And this is about standing up for yourself, being assertive, standing your ground, not letting anyone push you around. So it's a very bold card. So let's look at all these cards together. Okay. Trying to think what's the best way for me to hold these up. I don't normally read this way. I normally you just see the cards, you don't see me. Okay, so reading these together, I feel like this card I feel like we're kind of done with this card. Like I feel like I read this card. I feel like these two need to be looked at more closely. So yeah, okay. So I feel like the message of the Tower is to kind of prepare for a reorganization of sorts, a shaking up, a surprise. And the Emperor is telling you to lean into your assertive side. There's things that you'll need to stand your ground on. So I feel like these two cards together, I feel like the challenge of the Tower, and I want to be clear, I don't think that the Tower, like I never do predictive readings like this is going to happen or that's going to happen, but I feel like the Tower is saying you may feel a little bit out of sorts this week. So knowing that in advance, having some like grounding practices or grounding exercises that you can do to ground your energy is going to go a long way, but also being open to change because there is a shifting of energies, things are being shaken up, and even like old ways of doing things and things that you maybe have always kind of relied on are sort of crumbling and moving away. And so important to stay grounded, important to take care of yourself, but also important to be open to change as well. And the Emperor is saying, but because the emperor himself is never open to change. He's kind of, I think of him as being a little bit of a fuddy-duddy. Like he's kind of set in his ways. He has his way of doing things that he really enjoys and doesn't like to default from that much. So the challenge of the Emperor, or not so much the challenge of the Emperor, the gift of the Emperor this week is figuring out, knowing when to stand your ground and when to be stubborn. So when to be stubborn versus when to be open to new energies, new ideas, new ways of doing things. Okay, so I'm going to take one last look at these cards. All right. So, okay, so this is interesting. 5 of Cups. In the background, there is a cement building and it's got cracks in it. It's cracking, it's falling apart. And then with the Tower, we see that it's not the same building, but it's another structure that is coming apart. So that's really interesting to me. So something cracks forming in a building and then a building kind of falling apart. So something is kind of coming apart this week. Something's coming apart, but I love seeing the Emperor here because he's kind of saying like, it's okay, like you've got this. And look at the background of the Emperor. There's these mountains. There's these like strong, sturdy, stable mountains in the background of this card. So interesting, I think. Yeah, and I'm waiting for like some other great insight to come to me, but I think that's it. I think that's it. So I think that I guess I like to ask questions. I like to give you some questions to ponder. So some questions I have for you is, and I think you will know this. So there may be a particular area of your life or a specific thing that feels like it's kind of coming apart. The cracks are forming. It feels like it's kind of coming apart. What areas in your life does it feel like things are kind of coming apart? And how can you bring some of this like stable confidence? Like this is the ultimate confidence card, the Emperor. The Emperor is very confident, he's very assertive, and it's almost like this week is like a master course in assertiveness and strength, and standing up for yourself and standing your ground. Yeah, so that's that's the week ahead. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, because it will play out differently for all of us. Like, some of us may feel the energy of the Five of Cups really strongly. For some of us, it's maybe just like a little tiny blip, a little thing. And same with the Tower. Like, the Tower can be experienced in a very almost a mundane, like kind of low key sort of way, where it's like, yeah, the energy's kind of being shaken up, things are shifting, things are changing, but it's fine. And then other times we experience this in a much more intense way. So it will be interesting to see how these cards kind of show up for you and how they play out this week. So let me know what you thought of those cards in the comments. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, leave me a comment. It would help my channel so much. All right. So thank you so much for watching, and have a good week.